Yep.
And some people think $20 is too little to give. You got $20, you want to help a candidate.
It all adds up.
Throw it in, $10.
We have gotten donations from people from $5, $10, up to $100. Actually, we have a large number of donors all over the state. But the hardest thing for a candidate to do is to ask for money.
Yes, it is.
Because people are going through difficult times. I mean,
Right.
there are a number of people, way too many people who are either unemployed or underemployed in our state. Businesses are suffering, so it's the hardest thing to do. But we have done exceptionally well. We've been blessed so far. As I said, we are over 65,000 qualifying funds so far, so we're in a pretty good position.
That's good.
But any $5, $10 would definitely help us qualify before the convention or around the time of the convention.
Not all of us could give
Yeah.
money like he does.
Oh, yeah. Right, Wally.
Not everyone is as rich as he is.
That's right, Wally. It's nothing better than a tile contractor, huh?
But that is
On his
important.
knees. Hey, I pray all day when I'm working. Come on.
But people got to help the candidates. You know what I mean? Or we're going to have all the wealthy people out there controlling everything. So throw your $5 in, your $10 and everything.
We need people like Peter, and you know, I've met you several times, spoke to you, and you know, I listened to you on Lori's show,
I was on Lori's show,
Win It Real Estate, and you're just a fascinating guy. Plus, over at the Groton RTC,
was there.
I couldn't help myself. I had to videotape you because your story's incredible. And especially coming from a socialist type country, correct?
Yes. Well, it was a communist country, and
Or
what
communist.
really,
They control it,
really
yeah.
shocks me about American-born citizens is this: why the heck, excuse my language, are they trying to bring to America what we left behind in Eastern Europe, which is a complete failure? No
Right.
matter how you slice it, dice it, it's a complete failure. When the government controls your life and controls your freedoms and dictates your education, it is a complete failure. It has been proven time and again that the individual's freedom or sovereignty is the solution to these things. Not the government provided services and the government control. And that is one thing that concerns me about the future of this country and the future of my children and grandchildren. That I see socialism coming to the United States.
Sure.
And that's a concern that I have. And when I tell people that I'm running for an office, I mean it from the bottom of my heart that I'm not looking for a job. I have a job. I'm blessed. I have my own practice. I have people who are employed by my own office. But the truth is that if we don't get involved and more people understand the dangers of the overreaching government that we have, we're losing this country. And if we lose this country, we have nowhere else to go.
Exactly.
And that is the concern that we should have.
We have a very large middle class, and it's starting to shrink. That's what made America great, our middle class, because that's where most of the people were. They weren't mostly rich, they're not mostly poor. It's the middle class, and they have opportunities to grow in this country and given opportunities like you have had.
Absolutely.
And taking advantage of you.
What I've heard,
You
what
did
I've
well.
heard, absolutely, and I'm blessed, and I appreciate every single day living over here and living in freedom. What I've heard in Eastern Europe for a number of years was this, that the government is going to provide this and is going to do this, and at the end you're going to have this equal outcome of things, equal result. What we got out of it was this: the middle class was destroyed, the rich were destroyed, and eventually we got equal misery. Everybody became poor, and the system itself just collapsed. And you've seen that in Russia, Eastern Europe, Albania, where I came from, collapsing.
Yep.
And you see that in Cuba, China, whatever, these communist countries you look into. And it's a system that does not work. However, I see Americans pushing for that kind of system to be brought to the United States and be imported here. So that's a concern.
Yeah.
And it's very important when you hear from somebody like yourself who lived it, witnessed it, and you come over here to a so-called free world and end up seeing the same pattern lining up.
Well, you would hear this story from thousands and thousands of Eastern Europeans who have lived under this system. They will tell you the exact same
Sure.
story that I'm telling you. That if you were to apply for schooling or jobs or, everything was the government that dictated and decided on your life pretty much, or healthcare, or everything was government dictated. And that's why the system itself collapsed, because the individual's sovereignty was taken away. And we're doing the same thing over here. We're doing the same thing over here.
When you're given things, what's happened to the people who are given things from the government continually, they become dependent on it. And they lose their initiative, they lose their drive, and they become nothings. All they become is robots for the government. And we don't want that in this country, but we are going that way. If we're not careful, it's gonna happen.
We have like 4 minutes, 4 minutes left, so if you wanna, I know you've been looking at us, it's probably
There's the camera, okay.
but you know what, you might as well, if you want to give a couple minute speech or to the viewers, whatever you'd like to say to the viewers, have at it if you'd like.
Well, I just want to thank you very much for having me, and it was
Sure.
a great conversation we had here tonight. I think the conversation we should keep on going with these conversations. We should be talking about voter fraud. We should be talking about the future of this country. We should be talking about communism and socialism, because if anybody believes that they are dead, they are wrong, no question about it. What I'm expecting people to do in this area is this: get involved. It's not everything that you're donating funds to a candidate, but choose a candidate, volunteer for a candidate. Just be part of the system. Take advantage of the greatness that we have in this state, and make sure that we unite and somehow be able to turn the state around and claim or reclaim the greatness of the state again. So I hope I'll see you out there on the campaign and trail, and as we go to these cities and towns and run into each other.
Well, this goes all the way up the 395 corridor.
Yes.
Like I told you, it goes right up to Putnam and all
Putnam,
those, Danielson, all those areas, so the northeast also. And we have a wide variety of viewers, not just this area. A lot of people up there like our show because we talk about national issues more so and interesting stuff.
Sure.
So that's good. And we only got like 2 minutes left. And Wally, anything
Well, I don't
with
know,
him?
I don't have too much time, but what's bothered me, there's a movement now amongst the Democratic Party, is to change the electoral system, how we're gonna elect people. And what's gonna happen is, people say, well, they're not gonna go to the states that have no people. No, that's not true. They're gonna go to the large towns in that state and just go to those people. And that's the same thing like in New York, they'll just go to big cities.
That is the National Popular Vote movement, and I had an op-ed actually, which was picked by a couple of newspapers in our state a few days ago. One of them being the Greenwich Times. I wrote about it, and at the end of that article, you can see that I was talking about the constitutional issues of the compact that the states are trying to create. The founding fathers of this country, they gave us a blueprint as to how to amend things or change things in our country. If we disagree with the Electoral College, we have a way of amending the Constitution. Now, these states have chosen not to follow that path, but they want to create these compacts between the states. And I believe that Section 10 of the Constitution actually does prevent such a thing. So those relations between the states, if you will, without the clear consent of the Congress. And we're concerned about that.
We're starting to fade out, everyone. We always end our show with a God bless everyone, all the viewers. Bless America and wake up, America. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.